Um, I've been watching this discussion or conversation going on for some time now, and I've been asking myself whether I should get involved or just stay away from it. But I want to say a few things here, and I will address part of it directly to you, Comrade Mark Barata. You see, the worst thing that can happen to any man in this world is when you tell a lie to yourself. I repeat, when you tell a lie to yourself. I remember in 1991, when the late Dr. Samuel Chuenko approached me beside Louis Shallow and Mr. S.N. Tita, that I should hand them a copy of the speech I have written to Paul Biya. That was on Friday, the 12th of April, 1991. This was around the old motor park in Victoria, when we have just dispersed from a mammoth demonstration, which I have put up. After the incidents in the then Yaoundé University, that took place on April 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, where Anglo-Burmese students were targeted. The auto-defense was created in Yaoundé. And the then students' parliament, what they call parliament, was disbanded and everybody was fleeing, and some went into embassies for safety. This is what I told Chuenko. I don't trust politicians. I am not one. I'm not sure I can ever be one, or even a better one. Years later, decades later, that has proven me right. Because before Chuenko died, he had already fallen away from the very SDF that he was dying for. Now, the reason I am trying to throw out this to you is to let you know that at no time in the world does a social critic easily navigate to become a liberation leader. I want to repeat. At no time in the world does a social critic becomes a liberation leader with an input so positive that can move mountains. I have discussed this years ago before my brother and most honorable social critic and writer, whom all of us know very well, the guy we call the Obasanjo dance warrior, before he died. Before he died through a ghastly motor accident at the Douala Yaoundé Road. That is Batebison. It is the same situation that happened to Kenoro Ken Sarawiwa. It is so difficult. And most often when you try to fit yourself into it, you discover the shoe is too big. You have done so much, Mr. Barata. You've contributed positively in your own way as a social critic alongside Ivo and others. But the error you guys are making is that when those who are involved in the liberation struggle for so many years embraces you people, you now begin to think that you are like a shoulder that thinks it is bigger or has grown above the head. That the head now becomes the shoulder and the shoulder becomes the head. You now become some super liberation fighters. You go out and you carry out some writings which are so insulting and provocative. In fact, you will go out and write and tell us that the only government that exists, I mean with all that certainty and authority, it was like a parliament. You became a parliamentarian, or you became the House of Parliament, or Congress, or what, or House of Chiefs. That the only government that exists, those are the things you wrote, is the IG. You were very emphatical. Just as you are so emphatical now in telling us that the Ambazonian people are not fools. They know that the only government television is the SCBC. You just see how you are fooling yourself. Just see how you are fooling yourself. You go again, my brother. You are now complaining there that anybody can create a TV. You're talking of a government? You're talking of a government? This is the problem. This is why when I use the word Johnny just come, People did not understand what I meant, or they knew it. Because it was I, Akwanga, saying it and telling the truth, they became mad that I have spoken what they are thinking inside their bedrooms. They are scared of coming out to say it. It is that Johnny Just Come mentality that has set up our brothers and sisters into wherever they are today. It is that mentality. It is the same thing that you are doing. Now you will come and say you are just an activist. It depends what type of activist you are. There are different sorts of activism out there. There are different sorts. It's just the same situation we talk of an extremist. We are all extremists. Bia is one. Rene Sadi is one. You are one. I am one. Ayaba Buebe. We are all extremists in our own way. After all, Jesus was an extremist. So but it depends on what type of extremist you are. So when you say you are just an activist, and then you begin to make statements that you want to claim are emphatical, the only government television. First, Mr. Barata, there is no government. So it doesn't matter how many times you talk about that or fool yourself, there is no government existing. If that government was existing, ACT will not create itself. That government would have passed an order to make sure ACT does not even hold. We would have taken permission from ACT to discuss on anything that deals with, from the government to discuss anything Ambazonia. We will not even talk about a television when there is a government TV. You know what a government does? A government keeps laws and order. If there was a government, it will shut us up. We will not even meet anywhere. You will not even sit and even say you can start your own TV. It means we will even need a permit from them to operate that television. There is no government. All this is fantasy. It is these same types of lies and fantasy that took our brothers and sisters where they are. Because many of you were unable to tell the truth. You deceived them. You gave them false hope. You made them know that they have become some sort of a government with protections, with bodyguards and everything. By the time they came to pick them, not one of you were there to defend them. Whether you were aware they were being met, they were meeting or not. There was no bodyguard, there was no body. They were left to themselves. We pray that they are alive. That is exactly what is going on. So we keep on propagating these lies and trying to accuse other people. Do you know I appeared on SCBC? Do you know why they brought me to SCBC? The moment that things were going down, things were so bad for them, Derek York gave me a call, appealed to me that they want me to come and talk to our people. When I went and gave just one talk, and they saw the feedback that people were insisting that they want me there almost every day. That is how activism came up and shut it up. They deceived me for another discussion. They never gave an opportunity. They made sure I never again pass around it. That is what you call your government television. So, I don't know why you just want to lie to yourself. But like as I said to Success in Congo, and I've said to other people, all of you, Mr. Barata, all of you, every one of you who supported the very creation of Skakuf, up to this moment, have a hand in the adoption of Mr. Ayok and the others. Because you lie these people, you help them to lie themselves into danger. They never took care of their surroundings. They never knew what they were getting into. They were treated with fanfare. They thought it was just some sort of a walk in the park. And that is how they landed themselves where they are. They never took care of themselves. It was so easy that even my brother Tassan could use the name of God from every time to lie. And there are many other preachers, Ambazonians, who are even having false ammunition. They come and say, God has said that. They know they are lying. What they think, they come and tell the people that that is what God has told them. But that is their thinking. So you can go online to yourself. There is no government. Because if there was one, I know what that government will do. ACT would not have been created. We wouldn't have met in DC. Nothing would have happened. We wouldn't have even been talking of a television. The government would have been in control. There would have been laws that it can carry out. There is no government. Mark, I created the most inclusive interim government. It led us where? Nowhere. In 2003, nobody entered that government without being contacted. I talked to people I've never spoken to, Ambazonians. I called them on the phone. Ayaba can testify. I talked to them. Even somewhere within the SDF who were moving to the struggle, I communicated with them. I spoke with Cardinal Tumi. Before that government was ever created, I had to get Justice Ebon to resign from his own government, dissolve it, and become my vice president. It took months to create it. But where did it took us to? And I told them that at that time that it will not take us anywhere. Because they said I was out of prison, they just wanted a show of force. It collapsed. It didn't go anywhere as much as it was broad-based. So it's the same thing I'm telling you. Without a piece of land with an Amazonian flag on it, I don't care what color the flag is, we are wasting our time if we think we have a government. There is none. So you can continuously deceive yourself that there is a government. Like as I said, the worst thing for any individual to do is to lie to yourself. So our ability to write very well, which of course I praise you for doing that. And our ability to speak very well, which of course I praise you in what you do. And the host of you who also write and speak very well does not make you liberation leaders. Don't deceive yourself. Everybody is kept according to what it is. Not everybody can become a pastor. You go to a theological school, you can come out, you preach 1-2 times. People will know that is not your calling. Not everybody can become a teacher. Your ability to know how to answer history questions, to teach English literature and chemistry. The moment you can write and have an A grade, they send you in front of the class to teach other people. You will discover that you become a stammerer. That teaching is something that is inborn. You can't force it. It is in every profession. You will not become a liberation leader overnight with all the knowledge on how to prosecute it because you are a victim or you are an activist. If it was like that, everybody would have been one. Do you know how it took Mandela to become fully involved with the ANC? Do you know when Mandela became a leader of the ANC? It wasn't before he went to prison. Even after the Rivona trial, all what he said in court did not make him the leader of the ANC. It did not. It took years from Portsmouth to Robben Island for Mandela to become the leader of the ANC. And he did not put himself a leader. The others accepted, and there were still grumbling around, I beg your pardon. So all these things you guys are doing, and then you try to push it to other people. No. The greatest chaos in this struggle is caused by you people. Because you don't know where the difference between your neck and your head. Everybody becomes a liberation fighter. I mean, a liberation leader. That is the problem. And every time we talk, they say, oh no, we want power. As if there is any power that any of us have. Otherwise, we would have kicked beer a long time ago. That is what we have been doing. That's what we have been doing. And then trying to throw sand in the eyes of other people. It is not going to work. I have taken a vow that I will be silent for some time. But I will spare no individual or group. I will say it as I want to say it. If it means I have to ruffle individuals personally, I will do it. Because some of us have personally bleeded before others came on board to join the struggle. We have seen people in these United States who cannot carry the flag of Amazonia, who were mocking at us and insulting us, who came here, spent 9-10 years for them to become an asylum seekers, asking us even to give them papers to go defend themselves in court. They come today and they tell us that we should shut up. Let them lead us. Let them lead this struggle so that they can take it aground and let our people suffer. People who cannot send a single individual to war. We sit here, we send people's children. When they die, it is a burden in our hearts to send condolences to their families or even the least amount of money. Some of them die and they leave children. Some have even died beside us. So my brother, and to the rest of you listening to me, people should know where the size of their coat ends and let them pick it from there. You can be an activist, but it depends on what type of activist you are. But you will not become a liberation leader overnight because you are a victim. No. Otherwise, every victim becomes a liberation leader. It has never happened anywhere in the world. And it will not happen in this Southern Cameroon's struggle. It's not going to happen. That is why every time people try to inject themselves into it, it fails. It fails. It fails. We have seen people go out and tell lies that have already contacted the other frontline leaders of self-defense and the rest. Some now even treat us as if we are some sort of defense ministers for them. They call us commanders. Can you imagine? They write to us and call us commanders. They give us military titles so that they reduce us to that. Why? Because they are so scared of the truth. They think that when they reduce us to commanders, that now automatically makes them to become some sort of a born-again liberation leaders. That is not how this thing works. It doesn't work this way. And it will never work this way. We must do the right thing. We should open the door for everybody. But people should know where their limitations are. They should know that. That is the way it works. So, deceiving ourselves that we have a government when there is none, saying all types of things that we want to say when there is none. Nobody knows how many letters I've written of late to different countries. Nobody knows how many ambassadors I've spoken to. They don't ask me that, are you the president or the prime minister? They listen to me. So when you guys write, or if you write to a government, or you write to an ambassador, or you pick a phone and call, nobody will give a damn whether you are representing. They say you are talking on behalf of who. You say I'm talking about the ambassador issue. That is how it works. This is a liberation struggle. So, all this charade and what we are throwing out there that is government, it's a waste of time. It's what is causing all this chaos. And that is why I am holding the population, as I hold Mr. Milan and others, responsible for what happened to those whom were taken overnight like kite and hawk, picking up chicks of very lazy hen. That is exactly what happened to them. Because they gave them false hope, deceived them in that idea that the general population supports. And when the general population doesn't support, they send out people to go out and lie to them. They've collected millions from La Republic to sign paper to go to the UN. They don't even know how the UN system works. That is why they walk into a trap. That the UN said they should come and let them hold talks. That is not how it works. It is because when people at Johnny just come, these things happen to them. When somebody gets into the village and thinks that he's coming from town, you are coming from Kumba, and then you've moved into Mato, you think that all the other young men in Mato cannot dress well like you. You dress and put your trouser on top of your navel, and then you are moving around carrying your chest. You even flaunt the traditional rules. They call in front of the council. You go there with your hands in the pocket. Even the chief, everybody turns, they're looking at one another. Everybody knows that this is a JJC. Johnny just come here, just entered the city. He has painted his black shoe with granite oil. It's shining. He's sitting there and thinking that he has arrived. All the other boys in Mato don't count for anything. They have nothing between their legs. So he wants to take all the ladies. He wants to flaunt the traditional rules. He wants to do everything. He forgets to know that there is the king of the youth who have been keeping the village going, working for the community. And the other king of the youth understands every nook and cranny of that village. And that will be the king of the youth that will save him tomorrow. When you go in and becomes a Johnny Just Come, you will not only receive insults, but you find yourself into troubled waters, which if you had come in and take your rightful position and decide to learn and walk your way, maybe you would have become the leader. Maybe in the next 2-3 elections, they might choose you to become the new king of the youth in that community. That is how it works.